Hi, and welcome to this stream and video about how to save your stream video layers separately using OBS. I'm Tobias, welcome to Streaming Zero for Heroes. And before I get into the solution, which I will do here very soon, I just quickly want to give a quick overview recap of what my problem is, what I'm hoping to achieve and solve by saving my streaming video layers separately. So as you can see here on the screen, we have OBS up, and I've disabled the stream preview so that you don't see it. I can enable it very briefly here to show you guys. My layout is as such, is the desktop, and then just overlaid in the corner with the webcam. Now in my first stream, I didn't think about saving video layers separately, so everything was mashed on one layer. This created a very big problem for me during post-processing and video production afterwards, where I couldn't easily cut and mesh the content into, let's say, TikTok or YouTube Shorts, which is, instead of this larger video, it's more like a portrait one, which fits your phone better. So then I have to jump through hoops, use AI tools, which worked so-so, or cropping and things, and I just had the idea, you know what, I need to solve this so things becomes easy. That's why I want to be able to save my video layers separately, and that's what we're going to do and find out how to do in this video, and this is for OBS. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to this link here, and don't worry about the links, they will be in the description where you found this. We're going to install a plugin called Source Record for OBS, and you would go to this page here. Again, link is in the description. You're going to go to download, and also if you are prompted with that you're missing something after you install this, in terms of you need the latest Visual C++ redistributable for Visual Studio 2019. If you are unsure if you have this or not have this, after you have installed Source Record, go ahead and download and install this, and if you already have it installed, it's going to say that. I've already done these steps. I'm just going to walk you through what I did to get this set up. So you go to the downloads button, and here you download the version which makes sense for you. If you're running a Linux setup, you would download the Linux one. If you're running Apple or Macintosh, then it's the download there. I use the Windows installer. You can also download it for Windows without the installer, but I chose Windows installer, downloaded, unpacked the file, ran the installation file. Here I was prompted with a warning because Windows didn't recognize the source of this file. I choose to accept it and move on. Now we're coming to the next part of having to basically, okay, so now we have it installed, and when you install it, of course, select and choose your OBS installation folder, and that way the plugins end up in the right place. So how do we configure this? I actually had some challenges getting started on just where do I navigate to finding it. I didn't find it first, so I thought I'd maybe needed to restart the program or the computer. So I restarted the computer, came in, and then I'm taking the following steps, which you're going to see. So depending on if you restart or start over the program after you've installed it, you may or may not be able to see this. After you have installed it, you can check OBS first to see if you have access to this. If not, then you will need to restart OBS and or your computer. And I had troubles finding where to get into this first, so I actually had to do some research, and I came across this video made by a YouTuber called Troubleshoot, recording separate sources at full quality OBS Source Record plugin guide. This is really great tutorial on how to get this set up. I will give you the quick step afterwards. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Troubleshoot. Awesome value, awesome guy. Yeah, if you need more details, go ahead and watch this video and comment and say thank you. And you will find the link to this video in the description as well. So how do we set it up? Now that we have installed it, and let me just disable the preview again. So once we have installed Source Record, which is the plugin for OBS, it's time to set it up. And what we're going to do is, here you see in OBS we have the scenes. I have a scene here for my desktop and camera. which you see here, web camera, this is my mic, and display capture. What you do is you click display capture or the web camera, whatever video source you want to do this on, and you click filters. I have this already set up here, but the way you find it is you click this plus button here, and then select source record. I've already set this up, so I'm not gonna add it again. This eye icon here, you can click on or off. I'm not gonna touch it now since I'm actually streaming live going through this. But basically this is, now it's visible and on. If you click it, you get the grayish and this line icon out, which indicate that it is off, meaning it's not visible, it's not active. Coming into the settings, we have the record part here, and it's called record mode. It's actually a trigger. When does this start working? Provided that the on icon, in this case visible, is on. I choose streaming or recording because I want to have this output, not just have one mashed video layer. I actually want to have all the components of the stream as separate files, because it makes my life so much easier in post-production and video editing, where I don't have to, let's say, jump through hoops, use crop, copy, paste multiple layers from one layer, AI function and all that. Yes, I have the components as separate files already at hand, so I can just add them to my video editing project, drag it in, and move around. The options we have are none, meaning it doesn't do anything. It's gonna record always, meaning as soon as you open OBS and you have this on, it's gonna record an output. You can do it for only trigger when you are streaming, only when you are recording, or streaming or recording, which I'm using, because my thinking is that regardless if I'm streaming or recording, I'm gonna do something with the output video, so good to have these separate video layers, and then virtual camera, of course. Then you need to select an output path for the files where they're gonna get saved. I choose this path because it makes sense for me. Find something that works for you. Navigate to the folder, click select folder. You cannot cut paste the path here. So you have to go to the browse, go into the folder you want the files to be saved, and click select folder. Then of course we need to name our files something, and by standard it comes with this type of code here, if you will. It's year, month, day, and hour, minute, seconds, and I've added a suffix to it, which is underscore desktop, because it's the source display capture desktop that I am recording, and this way when the file output comes out, I don't have to open the file to see what it is. I can just read it from the name. Next up is the record format, and I chose MKV. Normally the standard's been MP4, and I recently learned why it's better to use MKV as a record source output format than MP4. It has to do with reliability. MP4 file format requires you to, let's say, stop your recording phase, like pushing a button and ending the stream and so on, and then it would be stored correctly in the MP4. If you have a computer crash, program crash, or something happens to it where you don't, let's say, close it the right way, the file gets corrupted and you can't use it. MKV file format doesn't have this problem. I haven't tested it myself, but it's what I hear on my research online. So MKV is a lot better format to use for those reasons. Then we have a lot of other options which I haven't gotten into yet. Maybe they're advanced, maybe not, but I'm just gonna skip over those. Something for me to grow into and share with you as I've explored them and figure out what they do and the benefits of them and so on. We're gonna scroll down here to encoder. I use the standard software X264, and for me it's important to set up the stream and all of the various video layer outputs that gets saved separately, that they have all the same video settings, so that in post-production and video editing I don't have to battle with upsampling, downsampling, changing the bitrate or whatever, or sorry, not the bitrate, the frames per second. So I keep everything consistent, and here you want to go with whatever you are streaming with. Just align it, it will make your life so much easier. Unless you have very specific reasons and know what those reasons are to do something else, then of course do those. Rate control, I choose the same as my stream, CBR, bitrate 6000 kbps, kilobytes per second, and then I believe I left everything as is. Remember to come up and double check your settings and that you have chosen your file format. I actually missed that when I tried this before. and it won't work. So that was for the desktop. Now we do the same for the web camera. Right click, filters. Here we see the source webcam. Plus sign. Here I have the source record, same thing. Instead of just adding a new one, I will just show you the one I already have. Oops, exit it out. Filters. And here we go, same record mode, streaming or recording. Same output path. And underscore web camera. And here is how we avoid having overwrite complications when we do this. Since I am suffixing this, which is basically adding this to the time and date, which automatically gets generated when you start the action of either streaming or recording, it will never overwrite because I have to stop and then start and then the timer changes and then it's new, and it won't get mixed up with anything else if I name this correctly. I keep everything else also very consistent in my settings across the board, so it's all the same. And then I wanted a way to, you know what, wouldn't it be great if because now I have the web camera coming out in a separate video file. I have the desktop or the display being shared as well, saved separately. Wouldn't it be neat if I also could output, let's say, the scene, the composition of what you saw now in the stream as well? And you actually can. You right click here on the scenes, and you will have called yours something different maybe, and go up to filters, and you have the same thing here, plus sign and source record. And here I actually name things a little bit different. I can see a future where I have multiple scenes for multiple purposes, so I want to depict that this is part of the scenes section, and then what is the scene called, desktop and camera. Now for me, being very explicit or very like detailed about namings as I'm seeing this growing and things, and to be aligned, example from the file name alone, I can understand that this is the output of the scene and what the scene name is. So if I later need to change or tweak something, I don't have to figure out where I got this from the video. Especially if I have multiple scenes, I know exactly what scene to go to edit or adjust. So that's why I'm very precise, or try to be very precise in the file namings. And it also makes life easier just to identify it later during post-production and video editing. Same setting here as everything else. And what is the output? So let's check the output. So the files we're outputting. So here we have, this is just a manual text file I added here just for simplicity's sake, for my sake. It's this one. But here we see the output path, or sorry, output files. We have the desktop one, we have the scene, desktop camera, and web camera. Isn't this nice and neat that you can just from the name see where you have, and then when you're using your favorite video editing tools, you can just drag them into the video editing project, and then just drag, drop, and move around these however you want it, and not having to fiddle around and mess with duplicate video layers of the same video, cropping, using AI tools that may or may not work, and so on. Only downside to this is that it of course takes up more space on your hard drive. This can be a concern if you have a small hard drive or things like that, and maybe you need to play with some quality, lowering your quality of the output of your stream or video, or just buy a better or larger hard drive. For me, I value the time in my editing part of this, because the more steps I have to jump through to get the output I want during post-processing and video editing, the more time it takes, the more energy it's going to take. I like it to go fast and simple to get the results I want. And in this way, I have the tools in the toolbox, so to say, to do that. The one thing I have left to figure out and share with you is how to do the same, but also with the microphone and the computer's audio. I haven't learned how to do that yet, but as soon as I have, it will be an upcoming stream and an upcoming video. So that was a quick run by on how to set up so that you can save your stream video layer separately using OBS, especially by downloading and installing and using the OBS plugin called Source Recording. And if you need more how-to instructions or help, you can of course comment wherever you see this or watch this video. And again, you're gonna find the links down in the description. And let me know if you enjoyed and liked this content, if it's on par with you, and this is exactly the type of information you're looking for to get started with and or better as a streamer. I'm really looking to connect with you and learn from you, and as you ask questions, I learn and vice versa. So it's a win-win-win. That's a wrap for this stream, and I'll catch you in the next one.